What's going on, guys? I wanted to talk to you about something today that's been on my mind for a while. So I wanted to talk about the Better Not Bitter widower name, where it originated from, and if I'm being honest, why I sometimes regret choosing it. So without getting into any details at all, my wife had an unbelievably difficult life. Just very, very difficult. And this was way before she ever got cancer. So, we dated for a year in high school. We went to different high schools. We lived 2 hours apart. She broke my heart. Nearly a decade later, we found each other. The circumstances involved made the reunion one that was not easy, but we made it happen. And we decided to start a life together. About a year after we started dating again, I proposed, and it was an unbelievably awesome proposal. Good job, John. And we had a year together as fiance. She was my fiance. I was her fiance. Am I using the right verbiage? Yeah, whatever. You can tell I've only been engaged once. We had a year together. Being engaged, and everything was absolutely amazing, magical. For the first time in both of our lives, we were both truly, genuinely over the moon happy. I'm not going to say we didn't have issues. Everyone has issues in their relationship and in their lives, but we were happy. After a lifetime of searching for it, we both found it. And then she started having back pain. And scan after scan, they couldn't see anything until one day they did. And she was diagnosed, eventually, with one of the most rare and aggressive cancers known to man. The specialist we had to see in New York for this cancer said when you consider what type of cancer it was and where it started in her body, they only see like one case of that combination a year in the world. Okay? So that's how rare it was. Again, I didn't have a bad life at all up until this point, but I went through a lot of struggles. And she had a very, very difficult life, as I said. And we both just found each other. And we both just found this unbelievable happiness together. And we had already messed it up once in high school. And we knew we were not going to mess it up again. We knew the next 50 or 60 years were going to be amazing. Until we found out that they weren't. There are a lot of details, which I'm not going to get into, because they're personal things I don't talk about at this point. But there are a whole lot of details of things that were happening and went on in addition to her being sick. And between seeing this woman who I had always loved, who just came back into my life, get sick and fight for her life, and seeing all the many things that she was going to have ripped away from her, and feeling for me all the many things I was going to have ripped away from me, in addition to all the other things we were going through, all that we had fought through in our individual lives, all that we had fought through together, to finally reach this place of epic happiness, and to have it destroyed by one of the most rare and aggressive cancers known to man. When she was just 27, I was so angry. I was so bitter. She wasn't. She was the most loving, caring, beautiful, funny without having to try to be funny person ever. She did not allow an ugly world to turn her cold. but I did. It was for 2.5 years as she was sick and dying. I was in that angry, bitter phase. She was in hospice for 22 days. And there is a whole lot that went into that, other than just a woman being in hospice. It was about the last week or so, when she was in a coma, that I began to find myself. One day I pulled out my laptop and I started to write her eulogy as she was in a coma. I was seated in the lounger chair right next to her bed. And I began to write her eulogy. And when my dad got sick in 2007, he had cancer as well. I started writing his eulogy, as messed up as this might sound to some people, the day he was diagnosed, because we knew. And he fought it for a year. And I took that entire year to perfect it for the man that I so admire. But with Michelle, I wrote her eulogy, I don't remember exactly, maybe an hour. I was typing so fast, my fingertips could not keep up with the words that were coming to my mind. When I was done with her eulogy, the next day, I began to write a book about our full love story. And it's a book you guys haven't read yet because I haven't published it yet because it's not done yet. But it was through her eulogy, and it was through the beginning of the book about our full love story, which I think I got to like 27,000 words in a couple days on that, in which I began to smile again. I began to remember all the beautiful memories that we shared. I began to look beyond the dying woman in the bed and to remember her healthy and the amazing love we shared throughout the years that we shared together. I started to laugh again as I thought about all the funny things that she would do and say, because she was so damn funny. In some weird, bizarre way, those moments at hospice, with my wife in a coma dying, and me writing her eulogy, and then the start of a book about our full love story, is when I began to feel my first sense of healing. It was when I began to work through some of the anger and some of the bitterness. And I had a friend at that time, as this was all happening, send me a text. And the text said something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing here because I don't remember exactly, we can't control what happens in our life, but we can control our reaction to it. You either choose to be bitter or you choose to be better. A month after my wife died, I was going stir crazy. And I posted on Facebook something, and somebody's like, you should start a blog. And I did. I started it a month after she died exactly. And I chose the Better Not Bitter Widower name. Now, let me tell you why sometimes I regret that. If somebody had showed me a Facebook page with Better Not Bitter Widower, maybe a month before my wife died, I would have told the person showing it to me to expletive off and get away from me. I would have been like, who the hell is this dude telling me not to be bitter? I'm going to be bitter. I'm going to be bitter. For every person who is attracted to that and looks at the Better Not Bitter Widower and is like, name, and is like, I like that name. this is somebody I want to follow only because of that name. I didn't even look at one post, but I want to follow it because of that name. I'm guessing there are a decent amount of people who look at it and who get turned off by that name, or who maybe get pissed off by that name because they don't want anyone telling them not to be angry. They don't want anyone telling them not to be bitter. Here's my point. I'm not. I am not. I have a page about this in my first book. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be bitter. Not everyone experiences it, but many, many, many do. I don't tell people in my books, in my coaching, in my speaking, not to be angry or not to be bitter. Sometimes I will ask questions to my clients that I believe will help them work through these feelings, but I'm not going to tell anybody not to feel that way. My hope for you, my goal, if I'm working with you, is that you don't stay there forever. That it's not a permanent state. These are normal human emotions that many, if not most people, feel when they have a truly profound loss. My hope for you, if that is what you're feeling right now, is that you just won't live there forever. I've thought about changing the name of my page. Thought about going to John Polo Coaching. I'm not going to do that yet. Maybe somewhere down the line. I'm not going to do that yet. But I did want to come on here and tell you guys where it originated from, why I sometimes regret it, and clear up any misconception that some might have, thinking that I'm preaching to them that they shouldn't be angry. I hope that made sense. Leave me a comment. Give me your thoughts. I love you guys. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.